couch, or lack of couch, but you can pretend the couch is here. Amy and Dan, thank you so much for being here. Why don't you guys start telling us a little bit about yourselves and how and when your slate came together?
So hi, my name is Dan. I'm the Vice President internal candidate for on Vivek Prabhu's slate. Our slate came together pretty quickly. We all had a unified vision of what we'd want to see Western go to. We could see the USC do as well. And Vivek as president has outlined that vision for here on, and we would now like to see that go to the Western community. We'd like to see students more engaged, and when I've discussed with him, that's what I'd like to see as well. And so we've had great discussions on that, and when he approached me about the slate, I was more than willing to help him out on that.
Awesome.
And coming from Kings, being Vice President of Student Issues last year and External Affairs Coordinator this year, when Vic approached me with my passion about municipal politics and student issues, I was more than happy to jump in. The vision that he had with community building and development was something that I really shared, and so together, as Amir put it, it came together really organically, and yeah, we were 100% behind him.
Awesome.
Now, Dan, Vivek mentioned that the Code Blue app was one of your projects. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, so I actually have a couple of really good friends that go to Queens, and this is something that they started up at Queens, and it's something that we'd like to see as well. And this isn't just for your everyday emergency. It's for if someone falls down and they're in an emergency and they can't walk anymore and they need to get someone there, and 911 isn't fast enough. Campus Police is a little bit quicker, so we can do that. The implementation with both Campus Police and London Police can work. The consultation with them has worked. It's obviously when a person downloads the app is their choice, let their location be known, and that is something that it's consent on both sides. And it is something that's going to work out. It will take some investment, but it's something that is, as soon as it's done, it'll work out for the long term.
Great. So TAs has been something on most of the platforms that we've seen. There has been raised some concern about ally training and the I Know Someone. Has there been a concern raised to you guys from students about this, or how did this kind of get into your minds?
I guess because it's more a little bit internal. I was a residence don as well, and that's where this idea first came from. And students don't always have the right avenues to go to for support, and our TAs are something that we really need to utilize. TAs come from all different schools. They come from Queens, McMaster, UBC, sometimes international schools as well, and they don't know the resources that exist here at Western for undergraduates. We're not advocating for every single person to be ally trained or to receive I Know Someone training. We're advocating for them to know about what exists at Western. The Peer Support Center is something that is vital to the student experience, and we want just to make that a little bit better. We want to make students actually know that exists so that they can go there. Because right now, it's not well promoted through the administration or faculty, and we want to see that grow.
Okay.
On your platform, you mentioned having discussions with London Police about Project Learn. What do you think a realistic outcome of these discussions might be?
Yeah, thanks for that question. That's something that has really been hit on a lot during this debate. Students do not need to be targeted by police, but we have a bit of a different approach from the other slates. We think having a conversation, having discussion, our best resources are not in abolishing Project Learn within the one-year term. We'd like to see an approach that is building community. And so working with our off-campus advisors, working with mediation services, working to understand more how students and non-students relate in our community, and really strengthening that so that we don't need to be calling the police, so that we can be building our neighborhoods, be building strong communities, creating that sense of community. And so we have a different approach that we think is a little bit more effective and a little bit more realistic in terms of what we accomplish, laying the foundations for this next year.
All right. Last night, there was a little bit of debate around the visa option. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit more about that? I know that probably could have been watered down, and I think you guys would like to say a little bit more.
Yeah, it's actually a different approach that we have. We're very similar to Pat and Amir, who want to see deadlines increased. So this is a short-term option. Right now, in students, they've exhausted every option. They've gone to financial aid officers, and they've tried to get bursaries. They've tried to get OSAP. And they might have paid for almost all their tuition, but they have that little bit left that they can't yet take care of. And that's where we want to see some help. So say you have that $600 left on your student owing on Student Center. We want to see you be able to pay that right away to avoid another $150 charge that you shouldn't be paid for. So that's something that we want to see. And we know that financial accessibility is important, and we want to create training for students so that they know how to better manage credit cards, credit lines. But there needs to be a way to stop those $150 fees. And right now, that's what we want to do. And after the debate, actually, someone came up to me and said that they had $700 left on their student line in September, and they had got an email saying they would get another fee on top of it. They wanted to pay with credit cards because that was the only option they had. If students have no other options, we need to open up the doors for every avenue.
Okay.
Amy, as the external candidate on this slate, what do you think is one area that the USC could improve on with our external relations?
for sure. And Amir already touched on this. It's our municipal relations. That is the biggest weakness of the portfolio as it is right now. But given the slate and given the way that we're restructuring the portfolio, there's so much opportunity to grow. And so we have a number of initiatives to really work on building our relations with the community and having local advocacy initiatives so that we can sit down with local politicians and local leaders and be able to advocate for things right here municipally, because that is the biggest capacity that we have for change. So through having a local advocacy week, having satellite lobbying meetings, having training for students and student leaders, we can advocate for things like having a seat on the LTC board, increasing downtown campus study space, a number of initiatives that we're really proud to stand behind and that we're really excited to work with the city on.
Awesome, great stuff, guys. You guys' platform was great. All the candidates had great platforms. We're really excited to see how you guys play this one out in the debate coming up and in the elections in total. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, it was great to be here.
Thank
And
you
good
for
luck to
having
both
us.
of you.